Welcome to All Things Knights, the podcast for passionate Newcastle Knights fans. Join Foundation members Mowie and Trace as they bring you the latest team news, game reviews, player performances, club history, and everything happening in the world of the Knights. So sit back, settle in, and join us for another episode where we bring you the sugar, the spice, and everything Knights. This is All Things Knights.
G'day and welcome to episode 4 of All Things Knights. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if this is your first time, what the hell have you been doing? If you're a passionate Knights fan, this is where you belong. My name is Greg Mowbray and I've got the great man Paul Tracy sitting alongside of me.
Great to be here.
Yeah, Trace, we've got lots of new listeners, so I thought I'd just do a quick recap of who we are and what we're about. We are Foundation members. We've got 800 home games between us. We're passionate fans with strong opinions. And guess what?
We'll share with anyone.
We're not afraid to share them, mate. Trace, we've got a lot to get through today, but before we do, guess what? We've got a new sponsor on board. What can you tell us?
How good's this? This is Christy Allen Digital Marketing. You know, Christy's a great person. She offers marketing solutions for all organisations, no matter the size. You name it, she will tailor something for your organisation and what it needs to increase your exposure and your marketability.
Good on you, Christy, and obviously digital marketing is the way of the future. Trace, our audience continues to grow. You're not going to believe this. The good people from Spotify tell me who's listening and where they're at. As I said last week, we're spreading all over the world. We've got Ireland, listeners from Thailand, Croatia, UK, USA. What about this? Sweden and Slovenia. How do you explain that?
I do know some people in Sweden, but not only have I never been to Slovenia, I don't know anyone there, but it just shows the spread of the Newcastle Knights, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
Their footprint is everywhere.
Yep, and we've got some great feedback from our listeners, which we'll cover a bit later. But an overview to today's episode, Trace. We've got to unpack that scrappy but inspirational win in Canberra against the Raiders. Controversy Corner is back. We've had some really good feedback about it. You're going to do a deep dive into what's happening with set restarts, and that's fascinating.
And I'm worried about them.
I'll cover a radical but entirely possible suggestion for fixing the bunker, and that idea comes from a listener. We're going to preview Sunday's really important home game against the Titans. We've got to keep winning. We're going to reflect on the season so far. We'll cover some of the feedback from our listeners and Trace next episode. We've got an exciting new segment where we'll feature a special guest, but we can't reveal who it is just yet.
You're going to tell me?
In good time, my friend. Trace, let's talk about the win against Canberra in a freezing nation's capital last week. Top line feelings, Trace?
Well, my heart monitor didn't go off until about 12 minutes to go, so that's a good sign.
I know exactly when that went off.
My basic feelings were I was just so pleased we got the win considering who was missing. And I know every team's missing players at this stage of the season. But look, Canberra was missing Hudson Young and Hudson Young and Hudson Young.
And boy, they missed him.
And we were missing a heap of players, but we got the points. But what was really good was see the growth in our younger players and that obvious will to win and play for the jumper. That's something that it's so good to see.
Sure is. Now, Trace, I was there. It was absolutely freezing. It was wet. I don't know how long it is since you've been to GIA Stadium, but it's a dud stadium. I had to endure the fairy clap that they stole off the Iceland soccer team, which is embarrassing.
Which was brilliant when the Iceland soccer team...
It was -3 walking home from the pub on Sunday night. But you know what? There was plenty of antifreeze in the radiator, so it wasn't too bad. Now, last week we praised the Knights for a complete performance against the Broncos, another away win against the Broncos. It was comprehensive, it was composed, it was confident, and we gushed over it. But Trace, this week... not so much.
But an important 2 points.
Yep. When we look at some of the team stats, we only completed at 73% versus 81 for the Raiders. Not good enough. I mentioned last week that we beat the Broncos in every team stat. What about this? The Raiders were better than us in number of runs, run meters, post-contact meters, kick return meters, play the ball speed, offloads, kick meters. But the alarming stat that we beat them on, they missed 55 tackles, which is unbelievable. We were better at them on line breaks and, of course, the score, which is all that matters, 30-24. Trace, how did you see the game?
I knew it was going to be difficult. and you knew they were going to come out aggressive as they did, and I thought their forward aggression was great. And while we struggled at times, we held them. So that's what I was so pleased about. I was particularly pleased with Sandon, how he just kept things calm, composed, did the right things, and he's got an absolute weapon with Fletcher Sharp, who is just the ultimate person. You can't coach speed, and he's got speed to burn. And I thought defensively he was great too. The forwards attacked their edges like I suggested they might do last week, and Francis and Jermaine were terrific, but Francis has just gone on to another stratosphere at the moment, the way he's going, so we've got to make sure we keep him nice and healthy. There was an obvious desire for people to win for Frizz, and I thought Frizz, when he came on, really lifted things for us.
Yep.
It was that early 12-0 lead. They got back, Frizz came on and sorted things out. We definitely have a quality football team.
We sure do. Talking about Frizz there for a minute, the Knights social media have been putting out clips, and they had a clip of the 2-minute warning just before due to go out on the field. The Knights were high-fiving, hugging, talking. They then got in a circle, and who was it that was talking?
Yeah, Frizz.
It was Frizz, and they were absolutely fixated on him. So the big man, obviously the most experienced player in the team, he's got the final word, and it was clear that they went out and listened to him. I got some individual stats here, Trace. Jermaine, I'm just loving his hard running and the beautiful lines that he's running. He's bending that defensive line back. He's hurting people in tackles.
Every one of those 41 tackles hurt.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yep. Dom Young, whose birthday it was, he turned 25 on Sunday, 203 run metres, 5 line breaks, 2 tries. He just lit that stadium up. It was just electric when he got the ball.
He also took a very important bomb behind the line when scores were equal.
Yep.
So, yeah, he did a lot of great things.
I thought Francis Manu Lele-Ua, and I've got to apologise for absolutely butchering the pronunciation of his name the last couple of sessions. 150 run metres, 9 tackle breaks, 2 tie assists. Every one of the backs had over 100 run metres except Sandon. Trace, who deserves your sugar this week?
Dom, obviously. Dom was just outstanding in everything that he did. Really, we wouldn't have won the game without him in so many ways. But I also want to give Greggy Marzu a bit of a rap too, because he triple teamed him. And every single time he was play 2 up, he was getting absolutely smashed. He kept coming and coming and coming. There was one particular set where he got driven back 15 metres on play 2. He took up play 4. So he wasn't getting out of the game by any stretch of imagination. My other sugar might surprise you again, but it's the leadership of Kalen. All right, he made some errors, and you'll probably talk about that later, I guess, but he did make some errors, but by God, every time he touches the ball, it is panic stations for the opposition, and you can see the way the players react to everything he does. They're looking to run off him, they're working with him. I just think he was just tremendous.
He was. My sugar, I mentioned Jermaine, but 41 tackles and just hard running the whole game. Francis, 9 tackle breaks, 2 try assists. That first tackle break where he set up Fletcher Sharp.
He only got through a State of Origin player and Correct. New Zealand international. He only beat those 2.
Yeah, Tarpany and Horsbrugh.
Yeah.
I thought Sandon's kicking game was much improved. His goal kicking was outstanding. His general kicking improved. There were a couple of kicks. He put one dead, a 7 tackle set to Canberra. A couple of his other kicks were a bit shallow. But just his organisation and his composure. We got to remember that the guy we signed last year on a 10-year contract, 1.3 million a year, isn't playing.
No,
and he was
not.
our halfback. So we bring in Sandon Smith, and it's almost like we're not missing a beat. And I know that they're not the same player, but boy, oh boy, I'm glad we've got
Well, the good
Sandon.
thing is you're not trying to be the same player.
Correct.
That would be the problem.
Correct. The next bloke, I reckon, is our Isaiah Yeo, Matt Croker.
Matty, love
He's
him.
just tremendous. He's a link man. He's often first receiver. He works so hard in attack and defence. I'm going to raise a point here. Do you remember a pass from Kalen that unfortunately hit Jed Stewart? It was an intercept. Jed Stewart runs, I think, 60 metres to score. Unfortunately, Greg Marzu slips over. But guess who was a hair's breadth away from stopping?
Chasing the whole way.
It was Matt Croker.
And even Blocker praised him for that on the coverage. One pass I want to mention from him. He gave a pass for the last try. Everyone could see that Sandon got into space and gave a good pass to Dom. Croker had given the run before. He found space to give it to Sandon, who then found space. So he's in there doing great things.
He's an unsung hero.
Yep.
And Trace, I want to give a bit of sugar to everyone just for the grit and the staying in the fight. You know, if we look back 2 years ago, that same game, we would have fallen away.
We would have lost.
But we hung in there.
Yeah, we would have lost.
Trace, what about your spice?
Well, probably what you'll say anyway, mate, but I just think we just made too many mistakes, too many forced errors. I'm still not in love with our kicking game. I think it was better, but when you compared it to Ethan Sanders, he was making 15 metres more on every single kick, but it was better. I've got no risk about that. And I'm going to bring up, I hate doing this, I'm doing it every week though, the referee. Since when is a head-high shot now accidental? He called 2 of them against us.
Yep.
And the bunker intervened in one case. It's been a penalty for 21 weeks. Now all of a sudden it's accidental. Yep. I don't get it.
It's the consistency that we're chasing, isn't it? Look, I reiterate your point about too many mistakes. I don't know if it came through the TV, Trace, but there live, you could just see that we were off. Our line speed wasn't as normal. Our intensity was down. Even our kick chase. Now, Ethan Sanders, there is more hang time in his kicks than Matt Burton. He goes further and he goes higher. And therefore, he's given his kick
defensive
chase.
Line, yeah.
Yeah, he's given his kick chase time to put pressure on our guys. KP, 5 handling errors. Every single one of them was under enormous duress, right? So we've got to factor that in. But you know what? They scored off 4 of those handling errors. Now, I don't think he had a bad game. You can't say he had a bad game. I'm just saying, if it wasn't for those errors, or if Canberra didn't capitalise straight away on those errors, we beat them by 30, you know. We kept giving them opportunities to come back into the game. Fletcher Hunt, he only came in late for Bradman Best. He's got big shoes to fill. There were a few defensive lapses, but Trace, you got to remember, he's only 20 years old.
Yeah.
He's only got 25 games under his belt. Just imagine him in 3 years' time, 10 kilos heavier.
But also, I've got to remember, he's spent a lot of this season sitting on the bench. And I've been harping on it the last few weeks that he needs to play footy. I think he needs to play first-grade football. Would I put him in the side at the moment? Probably not.
Yeah.
But he is a player who needs to play.
But that's the downside of that 6-man bench, isn't it? You've got a first grader sitting on the pine, not getting any, potentially not getting any game time. I've got to give some to Gags as well. You don't give away a penalty when you're in possession when the game is in the balance.
You could hear me screaming out at home.
Yeah.
I was screaming out, get up and play it.
So penalty Canberra. KP comes in and challenges it, but he challenged it on the basis of a high shot, right?
Yeah.
Now, the penalty went for Gags carrying on like a pork chop in the tackle. Luckily, the bunker has a good hard look at it. They see that Corey Horsbrugh slaps Gags, reverses the penalty, gives Horsbrugh 10 in the bin. But, Trace, I've got to bring something up here. Corey Horsbrugh gave Gags a dead set hopper, right? And that's why Gags got up and carried on even more.
And at the time, we didn't see that. Yeah,
I didn't either, but I only watched it on replay.
Yeah.
But here's a little bit of a rumour for you. They say that Corey Horsbrugh has been dropped by Ricky Stewart for his brain explosion, but I've heard a rumour that he's actually got a broken finger that happened when Gags flexed his butt cheeks.
Controversy Corner, where we expose the hot topics in the game.
Trace, Controversy Corner, and it's back this week. You have been concerned for some time about set restarts, and you've looked at the trends, you've done some research. What can you tell us?
Well, as this podcast is about the Knights, I'm pretty much going to settle on us, but we have been awarded the least number of set restarts of any team in the competition. Now, let's put this in perspective. The team's been awarded the most has been awarded 61 more restarts than we have. That's potentially 61 more sets of 6. Think how many tries you can score in 61 sets. So that makes life very difficult. But we've also considered the 4th lowest. So our differential is around about -12. We've been awarded less than we've conceded. But it has been coming in the last few weeks. Now, that's interesting. As we've been going better, guess what? We're starting to get looked after a little bit. The set restarts are about half of what they were at the start of the season. Did you see an edict for new rules? Did they change the rules anywhere?
Well, that raises the question, are the teams behaving themselves, or has the NRL handed down to the refs, hey, look, back off a little bit?
Well, I'm not sure. And it's interesting that the teams near the bottom concede the most number of restarts, and the media love teams, and I'm not going to mention them, but you know who they are. They get the most. So
you're not going to mention Melbourne. You're not going to mention the Roosters. You're not going to mention Penrith.
I just mentioned
you're not
media love teams.
Mention the Warriors. Okay,
Yeah.
Don't mention.
Your thoughts?
Well, this might be a bit controversial, but I think the set restart has been brought into the game to speed it up. I think Peter V'landys runs the NRL like it's a business, and maybe he should do that. Foxtel and Channel 9 have just paid a very large number for the rights going forward, and clearly they want an entertaining product. And I reckon there's a connection between the two. If it's a fast, entertaining game, V'landys can sell it for more money, and that's exactly what's happened. I don't know what it's doing to the integrity of the game, though.
Well, I'm certainly concerned about it because there's no rhyme nor reason lots of times. And one of the things that the weekend in particular, if teams give away a set restart and they're 20, they don't give us stuff if they give the next 2 in a row.
Yep.
Because they know they're going to get sin bin for it.
Yep.
So, they'll make sure it's 9 tackles rather than 6. They can defend it down there.
Yep.
So it's just changing the nature of the game.
Yep. Trace, we'll move on to another subject within Controversy Corner. We've talked about the bunker many, many times. This idea came from a listener, and the listener's name is Midnight in Slingtown. Sounds like a good name for a movie. But Midnight said to me, I know this might sound a bit crazy, but what if we removed the human element from the bunker? We already know the technology is superb, but where it falls down is the human element. Just imagine, now bear with me, don't jump down my throat just yet, but just imagine if we could teach AI how to interpret the bunker. The bunker came in 2016. There have been between 15,000 and 20,000 decisions reviewed by the bunker. They're all on video, right? Imagine if we could teach AI about every one of those decisions. AI could learn from it, remove the human element out of it. Now, I know it sounds ridiculous, and I think it was said in jest, but the more I think about it, I don't know if you're having much to do with AI, but it's changing the world. I reckon there's some value in that. So thank you, Midnight. That's a fantastic idea.
Midnight, you're talking too much to him.
Trace, give another shout out to our great sponsor.
Sunrise Fitness in Brunker Road, Adamstown. Steve and his team, geez, they're fantastic, and we thank them so much for their support. If you want to get fit, they will enable it in a supportive and really friendly environment. Tell Steve that Mowie and Trace sent you, and Steve and the girls will look after you. It's a great place to go.
That's it. Couldn't agree more. Trace, we are called All Things Knights. So can you give us a quick update on the NRLW Knights, the ladies?
Yeah, a disappointing result last week. We got beaten by the Warriors. We're behind, then led. We just ran out a bit of puff. But quite bizarrely, I believe, our last 3 games have been in Brisbane, Wagga, and then across the ditch in New Zealand. And then we play 4 of our next 5 games at home. So they've had a tough ask, the girls.
That's some crazy scheduling right there.
Terrible. But this weekend, they're at home and they're before the men, so it's going to be a massive crowd.
Indigenous round,
of course. And we've got Jules Kirkpatrick back and Simone Kapani, and that's going to make a big difference. They will make the playoffs. You heard here first.
Well done, Trace. Good stuff. Okay, so let's have a look forward to the home game this Sunday against the Titans. We're currently on 6th on 30 points. The Titans are on 15th on 18 points. They are out of finals contention, but Trace, they're still dangerous. Yeah. Look at these players. AJ Brimson, Beau Fermor, Jaden Campbell, Jojo Fafita, Keanu Kinney, Mo Fodawaker, Big Tino. They'll be out to prove something. We've got Bradman, Phoenix, and Pasami Saulo.
Potentially Pasami. I want to start playing. You know, I mean, geez, Lockie Crouch has been going well.
With Big Cody Hopwood.
Yeah,
I can't see Pasami coming in for either of those guys, given they're in such good form.
No, not at the moment. I can't see it.
What do we got to do to bank the 2 points, Trace?
Well, I guess it's going to be wet. That's the thing that worries me a little bit, because you've got Keanu Kinney and Jaden Campbell are so dangerous. So we're going to have to be really on our game defensively. But by the same token, if we attack their edges with Campbell and Ilias, with Frankie and Jermaine coming out there, they're going to have all sorts of trouble there. So that's going to be very advantageous to us if we attack those edges. We've got to keep to our game. Everyone thought we'd go to Canberra last week and change the way they played. They didn't. They still attack. Look to attack. They definitely will. We're going to make sure we do the same. Our young forwards have got another great challenge with Mo Fodawaker and Big Tino, and Beau Fermor. Get stuck in, boys. I'm confident they can. Their number 9, Pascal, is very good out of dummy half early in the game. He tends to go missing a bit later on, but early in the game, very good. Got to be really switched on and ready, and hopefully Phoenix will be up for that challenge. So, to summarise it, limit our errors. We've talked about that twice today about their errors. Kick well. Kick well. Bring the crowd into the game early. Be as physical as we can. Shift positively with every opportunity, and I'm very confident we will win.
Trace, when you look at who we've played, I think the last 5 or 6 games, they've pretty much all been high-ranked teams.
Yep.
My fear for this weekend, the Titans are 15th. Please don't drop your bundle, boys. Please don't lose composure. Please don't be complacent.
I just think there's a different mindset under Justin.
Yeah,
and I bring Brett White and Stephen Hales into that as well, and Danny. I mean, I just think that there's a different mindset, and I know how much Kalen wants this, and it's going to be packed. It might rain, but it'll be packed house on Sunday.
It sure will, yep. So, season so far, Trace, currently 6th. Who'd have thought that at the beginning of the year? Titans at home, Manly at home, Wars away. Bye. We could potentially finish on 38. I know it's a bit of a pipe dream, but we could. And clearly, we keep saying it, but this season has been way beyond expectations. Just before we wrap up, Trace, I want to share a little bit of feedback from our listeners. Jade from Adamstown. Get this, Trace. She said, you blokes are like the Foxtel program, Matty and Cronk. Mowie's like Matty Johns, the funny one, and Trace is like Cooper Cronk, the smart one.
Well, that's no surprise.
You take that one? Yep. Tiny from Hamilton South. Well done, lads. Great listening. Can't wait for the next episode. Michael, don't you ever lose the passion, boys. NRL 360 will headhunt you two. They can't afford us. What about this one, Trace? Norma from Waratah. You boys are fantastic. It's the best podcast ever, especially Trace. He's wonderful. Trace.
Thanks, Mum.
What's your mum's name?
That could be Mum.
Yeah, Norma from Waratah. I don't think that one counts, but good on you, Trace's mum. So, Trace, that's episode 4 done and dusted. Next week, we've got an exciting new segment. It's going to be a special guest from inside the Knights' inner sanctum. We can't say too much.
Yeah, well, we should tell me so I could prepare, but anyway.
Excitement is continuing to build. Listeners, keep your comments and your feedback coming through. We love to hear them and read them. And as I always say, if you're enjoying the podcast, tell your friends. And if you're not, mind your own business. Trace?
And go you mighty Knights.
Well, there you have it. 2 self-confessed experts, gibberers, on all things Knights. Nice one, boys. Join Mowie and Trace next week for another episode of All Things Knights.